Hello, Aries, and happy birthday. Let's see what is coming in for you this week. At the end, if you have somebody on your mind, I will look at Aries through Pisces. All right, so a difficult situation this week is coming to an end. Maybe you've been kind of going back and forth for a while trying to figure out, what to do, and you've been just trying to maintain and keep things going. A lot going on with the Two of Pentacles, just trying to navigate life. But it seems like there's a break this week. Something is shifting. The most difficult time of a situation is coming to an end. All right. I see the World card here for you too. So this is really signifying a week of things just coming together. Right. You may have been waiting for this moment. You may have been just trying to take it day by day. There's a lot of completions happening this week. Some of you have been putting a lot of work into something with that Two of Pentacles, right? It feels as though this week your decisions are starting to play out for you, and you're starting to see and feel pretty successful or confident that things are coming together. The World card can signify a lot of cycles ending, a lot of changes, a lot of things that you've outgrown ending, a lot of things in your life, job, projects, things that have been on your mind, things that have been weighing on you, habits, things like that, all coming to an end this week. I have the Devil card. Look at this. Any addiction, any attachment, any energies or people or places or things that are pulling you and making you feel like you have no other choice, or that you are tied to something, feels like this week you are being pushed to cut those ties, cut those cords. And that does not mean that you have to walk away from a situation or a person or a place or a thing. It's saying you're releasing the fears. It's like, this is just not worth this kind of energy anymore. I need to take back control of my life. And so if you have anything that is taking control of your life, like, addictions, people that drain your energy, that you feel like you're just bound to it, you're trying to control a situation, navigate a situation, all these things are leaving, because it seems to me like you've done everything you can. And at this point, it's up to other people or situations to step up, or that you're just, looks like to me, you're ready for a new chapter. So if something bigger or better were to come in at this point, you may say, all right, see you later, past, and I'm moving on, right? So this week, the Lovers card, being pushed into the arms of somebody, right? So there could be a relationship starting this week, feeling like you're being understood, right? The only thing is the Devil card here is showing me that you are releasing some control that this has over you, right? You may finally be realizing that love shouldn't be this hard. Love shouldn't be this painful. Relationships shouldn't be this painful. Friendships shouldn't be this painful. Work shouldn't be this painful. All right. I'm looking for balance here. And it seems to me a lot of choices this week, and maybe even somebody in your life choosing love rather than addiction, rather than fear, rather than anything else that's going on in their life that they feel bound to. So a big, huge shift that brings you closer to love and maybe even deepens a relationship. This could be a strong week for new relationships to come in with that Lovers card, especially if some of you have walked away from a long pattern or relationship that was draining you, or a job or anything like that that was draining you. It's like the Devil card really, plays a big part here for you. It's like you're learning something. It doesn't have to have so much control over me. I need to take back my power. You have Gemini energy, Capricorn energy showing up. You have 3 major arcana showing up, and you have the Queen of Swords. So there's no question this week that you are seeing things clearly. All right. You're stepping up and you're using more logic, right? You're not letting fear. You're not letting passion. You're not letting anger. You're not letting resentment, bitterness. To me, it feels like this is your month, Aries. This is your birth month. This is your sun renewal, your sun sign renewal for the year. This is a chance for you to do a complete reset. And, just to be clear with you, this does not mean that you're saying I'm walking away from everybody in my life or a situation that I'm dealing with. This is more personal. This is more internal. This is more like, I see truth and I need facts, and I'm seeing exactly what I need to see. And I'm no longer getting sucked into any of these dramas or fears or uncertainties in a situation, right? I'm taking back my power is what I'm seeing here. Now, you could have a person this week come into your life that brings in a lot of clarity into your life as well. You have air signs showing up for you. This to me feels like you're being very logical this week, and you're able to see through BS this week. So if somebody's trying to pull a fast one on you this week, trust your instincts when it comes to this. The Queen of Swords says, I know, you can tell me your story all you want, but show me the facts, right? And you also can be saying this to yourself too with that Devil card. Some of you could be attached to a situation and you keep getting or hearing BS. And some of you are starting to say, I'm just not gonna play this game anymore, right? And some of these things that you're doing or that are showing up for you this week are actually pushing you towards what it is that you really want. It's scary at first when you kind of cut the chains from somebody or a situation, or decide that you're not going to let a job or life or a friend or family have power over you anymore. It sometimes feels like, this is scary because what if I'm wrong? What if I need this person later and they're not there and I cut ties or I create a strong boundary? But this week, I feel like you're seeing that it's actually bringing you closer to love. It's people understanding you a lot more when you're standing up with clarity and standing up with truth, but also asking a lot of the questions this week. Show me the money, show me the facts, show me the plan, show me the truth, right? And the Five of Pentacles, right? It feels as though this week is a big change in point. You're tired of struggling with uncertainty and not knowing where things are going. It feels like you've been in this path where, you tend to, this is a mindset thing for you. You're tired of worrying about things going wrong. You're tired about feeling like you're not good enough or you're being rejected from something. You're tired of, having this part inside you that says, I'm ready for some good stuff. I'm ready to see the light. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to change my life. But yet I seem to be pulled into this energy of I can't, or this won't, or this isn't happening, or other people's negative energies. And this is where I think the big push this week for you is to see that you're taking on a lot of other people's problems, and it's been creating this mindset in yourself that you've started to expect the worst in situations rather than expect the best. So this week, the Page of Wands, right? There seems to be a reset with you, right? You're wanting more fun in your life. You're not wanting to deal with difficult situations anymore. This is clear to me. It's like if something is too difficult for you, something is too challenging, it seems like you're ready to just move on and see what else is out there, all right? It's regaining your passion, regaining who Aries is. Aries is like, you don't stay too long in a situation, if it's suffocating you, right? That's, to me, that's your core value. I think Aries is like, I get up and pick up myself up and I go. I'm ready to move on and get something done. But for some reason, it feels like you may have gotten caught up or challenged at some point, and you just feel like, maybe you didn't see all the chains that people were putting on you and holding you back, right? But it seems like this week you're seeing yourself again, and you're kind of coming out of water, coming out of feeling like you're drowning, even if it's financially, even whatever it is, whatever problem circumstances you've been dealing with. The Page of Wands is saying, I need something more, right? And this driving force of yours that says, I am ready for something new is what I love about you. It's that Mars energy, because if you get pushed under or feel unheard or unseen or struggling with negativity around you, eventually you do just pop up and go, and you just want to break out. And that's when people tend to want to come back after you and be like, where are you going? And you're like, I don't want to play in this game anymore. I don't want to play in this situation. I don't want to be unhappy. Your nature is to seek enjoyment. Your nature is to find things that spark your interest and find things that you can explore, find new avenues. You do not want to get stuck in the same loop over and over and over again. It will drain your life. It will drain your life source. All right. So this week is going to be very powerful, I think, for you, making decisions and finally taking charge of certain areas in your life where you feel other people have made you feel powerless. I have the Six of Cups, right? So there could be somebody reaching out to you this week, right? This is very important. This is somebody that is missing you, somebody that feels like they've been wanting to talk to you for a while. This could be somebody that has crossed your mind, somebody you've thought about. Maybe you're seeing clearly this week and you're finally seeing what you need to see, and you're finally setting up some ground rules, and now you're ready for somebody to enter back into your life. Maybe it was somebody, I'm just going to throw out a couple things. You know, this Six of Cups can be a lot of things. It can be two people reminiscing about the past, talking about the good old days. It can be you're in your mind thinking about somebody you haven't thought about in a while, and now you're in a position where you may see where you guys were struggling, and you may see where we can make some change and move forward. And it really could deepen a relationship this week. You have strong a soulmate energy, which tells me this week, even for some of you that are not considering anybody, there could be somebody coming into your life with that Page of Wands, all right, that's saying, hey Aries, how you doing, right? It could be even a new person turning over a new leaf, right? And also it could be somebody that you have been dealing with a karmic cycle with here, but note that the big change is you're not taking shit anymore, and you're not going to get stuck in this, I don't want to play this victim anymore. I want something to change, and it could possibly this week, in a very good way, things coming together where somebody is actually seeing the same thing you are, and you both are coming to some sort of conclusion. Hey, can we turn this around? Can we, move forward and, try to clean the slate and move forward? So you have a lot of great energy here when it comes to that. But for some of you, if you are dealing with somebody that you just can't, they just steal your thunder, they steal your energy, this is where this week is going to be a big shift for you, where you're like, it's all coming together here. I see what's going on, and I'm no longer going to carry this baggage, and I'm moving forward because I really do want love in my life. So it seems to me like some of you are reaching some point where you are ready for realness. You're ready to be in alignment with what is truly yours. And that Lover's card speaks volumes here, because it's not just about a passionate love. It's about feeling unity. It's about feeling a deeper connection and feeling like you're on the same page, so you can feel safe again. You can feel like, I can let down my guards. I don't have to expect that something is going to, turn around and it's going to be more difficult, because it feels like this is right. This week just feels right for you, and you'll see clearly the signs. All right. Now, for those of you that refuse or are not ready to let go of ego here, or let go of control of a situation, this could be where you're still kind of learning this lesson or trying to figure something out, and maybe this is what's coming towards you once you do. All right, so keep that in mind. We all go through our own processes, but I can see that the World card ultimately is telling me this week is about finding a lot of peaceful closures and being able to see clearly a new canvas, an opening to where you can start moving forward and feel like your life is moving forward again. All right. So I love this energy for you. The most difficult part is over. And I'm going to say, if you want it to be, it seems to be over. Let's take a look at Aries through Pisces for you. If you are in a love situation and you have somebody that's on your mind, I'm going to run through potential with Aries through Pisces for you. This does seem like a very good week for you that is pushing you towards something big, which means it's pushing you in alignment with your truth. And when you're in alignment with your truth, that's when gifts start to just show up for you and life gets a lot easier in this energy. So let's see what's happening with your Aries through Pisces. Now, some of you may get triggered or may not want to hear something I say. These are only potentials. Don't get too caught up in it. It's just a weekly reading. Aries, Eight of Pentacles. All right. So you and an Aries really focused on commitment this week. All right. Space and independency can really help this relationship build value, but there is something about you and an Aries kind of coming to terms at the same time. So you both may be having an aha this week moment where it feels like, you know what, we can finally push through whatever block it is that's been holding us back. Taurus, Four of Cups. Some of you may be realizing that you've just been giving too much energy to somebody who's not ready to accept the gift that you're given. And you may be getting bored and tired of it. I have too much to offer. I have too much to give. Taurus may be in a place of apathy, depression, or still trying to figure out something else in their life. And they're just not wanting or refusing your attention. Now, this could be a game. This could be control. This could be whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just showing me that they're not seeing the love that you're giving them. And you may get to a point where facts are facts. This person is just not on the same frequency as me. And you may decide to walk away or pull your energy back from a Taurus, which eventually could lead to them finally waking up or not, right? So Gemini, clarity coming in with a Gemini, right? So the truth, right? Seeing clearly. Now, this can go one of two ways. It can go, I see clearly that they're just never going to be honest with me, or I can see clearly that this isn't really what I want, or they say they don't want this, and you are like, all right, fine, you don't, right? But it can also be clarity that says, I really do want this, but this is what's wrong. This is what's going on. We need to be clear here about what we expect in this relationship. Now, for some of you, it could just be opening of communication this week with your Gemini, that just wants to talk and clear something up. It could be really good. It could be an apology with that Six of Cups. Cancer, the Emperor card, right? So we have taken accountability with the Cancer. We have an Emperor that says, I want to do what's right. And so this can show up in many ways. I want to do what's right. I'm in control. I want to take accountability. But that can mean something different for everybody. That can mean making peace. We need to just make peace and do our own thing, or I'm ready to step up and commit, right? So this could be a very powerful energy with you in Cancer. Leo, I see the Five of Swords. So I do see a lot of conflict here, a lot of mixed messages, confusion, blame, whatever it is. It's like always justifying yourself, always trying to figure out what they mean, what they're saying, what they're doing. They're not being clear with you, and that's the problem. They're confusing you, and there's a lot of confusion in this relationship because we're not looking at the facts, right? Or we're just trying to justify our positions. So neither one is hearing the other person at this point. So this week, this could be a moment of truth as well when we look at the Five of Swords. Either I'm sick of the games, I'm sick of the confusion, or we're finally finding some sort of compromise and we're willing to work something out. So it can go either way when you have a Five of Swords, but it is all about compromise, and you have to feel good with that compromise. Virgo, Ace of Pentacles. Virgo coming in for another attempt at a relationship or an attempt, a fresh start. So you may get some serious offer here from a Virgo. Libra, Wheel of Fortune, right? So we're seeing what comes around goes around. We're seeing another pattern come in. We're seeing a turning point come in, a chance to do something over with a Libra, all right? But just remember the Wheel of Fortune says if it's been going on and it's a pattern, we got to find a way to break the pattern. We can't do the same thing again and again and again. We have to choose to do something different. So a lot of learning and karma coming in for you in a Libra. Maybe you guys have some sort of unfinished business and you may resolve it this week with the Six of Cups. Scorpio, the Temperance card. It's a timing issue with the Scorpio. They're just kind of in a place where they just want things to kind of chill. Let's do our own thing. Let's just kind of let things unfold naturally. There's no pressure or no rush, or they just don't want any pressure or to rush things, right? So it could be a matter of time, or just you guys are not. It's, wrong time, wrong place. And it's divine timing. It says when we're both ready, we'll be ready. But right now we might not be. Sagittarius, 3 of Wands. You could be making plans this week with a Sagittarius to move forward, finally seeing a clear opening. Capricorn, the Star card. Things could be coming together. Again, this is also a timing thing too. It's like, we're meant to be. If we're meant to be, it'll be. If it's not, at the time, if somebody's going through a tower, we need something to clear up, give it space, learning periods, so that we can figure out what went wrong. But it does look like you and a Capricorn here are still kind of in it to see where things go. There's still hope here. 9, 10. So that's Capricorn. Aquarius, I see Page of Pentacles. All right. Aquarius wanting to talk things out, wanting to get to know you, wanting to see what's up. All right. The problem with the Page of Pentacles is that it's still very slow moving. It's like we got to start slow. We got to take it slow, and you got to mean it. All right. So when somebody says start slow and you say we're going to start slow, it's not just for a day. It's the pace of the relationship. And that's where you're at. So an Aquarius here may come in. For some of you, it may be enough. It may not be enough, right? But it can be a fresh start for you in Aquarius. Pisces, I see 9 of Swords, right? So I see constantly regret going over. You're on their mind. They may feel like things have just gotten too out of line, or there's too much to forgive, and it's I just don't know what to do right now, right? So there is still some anxiety, and you never know in this kind of energy with a Pisces. Right now, it might be too soon. Give it a little bit of time. And it looks like you guys may find a way to forgive each other, whatever happened. So if you're still with me, I'm going to pull a yes, no for you. Think of your question. Ooh, this just popped up. Your cards are flying. All right, so I have a no for the question on your mind. But I have Venus for you, and I have the 5 of Swords again. And this kind of clear, you have the 5 of Swords with Leo energy. All right. Sometimes you just got to walk away to create change, and that's it. Sometimes trying to fight something, explain yourself, or try to figure somebody out, and it's too confusing. Sometimes it's just too hard. It's like enough's enough. I can't keep, but we get addicted. We get addicted to the chaos. We get addicted to trying to find the solution, to figure out the whys. And at some point, there is no solution. And the only solution is to walk away and clear your heads and see if we can finally figure something out at a later date. All right. So I love you guys. Happy birthday again. And I hope to see you soon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and hype. Take care.